Hello and welcome to Interactive Distractions, episode number 507. My name is Chris Fricchio, and I'm here with Geoff Shorty.
What up, guys?
And Jason A. Stryker.
Joe, hello.
Hi. We've got some distractions and news for you.
We do.
But it's been a week, so let's see what's going on. Jeff, how are you, buddy?
Yeah. It's been a week. Yeah, it has been a week. I got up to some kind of gaming stuff during this week that's not necessarily distractions related. But remember how I told you guys last week how I stole my 360 back from my in-laws because they weren't using it?
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, so I hooked up my 360 and I started playing some games on there, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I want that entire generation hooked up to a TV right now because that's like probably my favorite generation in gaming. So yeah, I hooked up the Wii, hooked up the PS3 Slim, made sure they all work and stuff, which they do. The PS3 gets really fucking hot though, like really fast. I can't remember if it did before. I think it might have. It's a Slim, yeah.
Which Slim is it? Is it like the first Slim or the second Slim? Okay,
the first edition Slim.
Yeah.
And like I haven't even I literally just I updated it, and then I popped in God of War Collection just to make sure everything worked, and I played for that for like 5 minutes, and it was already like boiling hot. So we'll see. I don't think it's the power supply because that should be fine, but I'll give it a good blowing. I'll blow some wind in there or something, see if it's dusty. But then that got me like cleaning out all my other shit of like bins that have just like wires and stuff and whatever. And then
those bins are important. Don't knock the wire bins.
No, I reorganized all the wires and stuff throughout shit that was in there that I would never use again. Then I found this baby that I haven't had like
nice.
a while. It's the PSP, the first PSP Slim that they released.
The PSP,
2000.
PSP 2000, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, the silver one. And I was like, I remember I found this a while back, and the battery was like bulged or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, sweet. I thought I lost it. I couldn't find it again. Yes, they are. But then I found on Amazon, I ordered two replacement batteries with like a charger. So hopefully those get in soon. And then that led me down. Well, before I get to that next part of the story, I went out today when I had some errands to do, and I went to my game shop, and they had PSP games, so I had to grab a couple. They were like $2 each.
I love it.
So I grabbed this. This is Siphon Filter.
All right.
Dark Mirror. I remember having that back in the day. I've never played this one. Killzone Liberation.
All right.
I've heard good things.
Nice. I've had to get this because this is like, I think this is a staple, even like on a Vita, but
Wipeout Battle Royale? Oh, no. Yeah. Okay.
It's pure, not Pulse.
That's good too.
Yeah. And then I've never
it's
played
no Battle
this
Royale,
either.
But whatever.
It's no bad. I got this as well.
Tactics.
Final Fantasy Tactics. Yes. I've never played Final Fantasy Tactics, so
it's good. It's good.
No, this version sucks. It's bad.
Does that version suck?
Yeah, it's got slowdown like crazy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
slowdown.
Really
did you say? Oh,
yeah, whenever you do like a spell, it just like goes into slowdown mode.
Ew.
It is nasty.
Like it slows down to load the spell, or like the actual frame rate slows down?
Frame rate slows down.
What?
Really?
How is that a thing?
Weird.
I know.
That's
Tactics was what? PS1? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, PSP version is rough.
But that got me down in another rabbit hole. Because then, of course, I messaged in the Discord how hard it is to hack a PSP, because I know they're hackable and you can throw on some emulators and shit like that. And Jason was like, "Well,
I think I know where this is going.
Don't bother. Like, kind of like if you want something that plays up to that level, try this." And it was a different device. It was can't remember what it was called. It's with a T. I don't know. It was like a
Trim UI Smart Pro.
That's the one. And it looked cool. And I was like, oh, this looks like right up my alley. But then I remembered Jason sent me a link about a week previously because I said that they had a used Vita at the shop they're selling for like $250. He's like, what? He's like, that's crazy because you can get one of these like totally hacked and like, with emulators already on them and everything for like the same price. And then I was like, oh shit. I'm like, it's a little bit pricey because about the same price, but in USD. So convert that to Canadian, it's more. But I was like, you know what? It comes with a bunch of shit. It comes with like 2 different cases. It comes with like a screen protector. It has everything already on there for me, so I don't have to do it and possibly brick the system.
Yep.
So then I bit the bullet and then ordered one of those. It hasn't shipped.
Ah,
Yeah. So
hacked Vitas. I love it.
That's the thing. Is it an actual hack? It's a Vita
it's an
that's
actual
already hacked.
Vita. It's a Vita Slim. Yeah. It's like the blue one.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, because I was going to say right now, the Vita, like to hack the Vita, all you have to do is go to a URL in the web browser.
That's
a little bit more than that. You got to get prompts and shit on there, and yeah.
Well, yeah, I know, but to actually open it up to be able to do all that, yeah, they found a way to do it that way, and I don't think they're updating the Vita anymore anyway. So,
no,
probably not.
That's
so
cool.
I'm looking forward to that. I actually can't wait for that because Vita is like my favorite handheld I had. It's just. I just wish Sony liked it as much as we did.
Yeah, I wish everybody liked it as much as we did. Like, fucking great device, man.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic device. I still have mine sitting back here somewhere.
Do you say the OG one? Like the one you got at launch?
It's the OG one, the one I got at launch, yeah.
Very cool. But other than that, I'll talk about the other shit. Oh, nice.
And a God Eater one.
Nice. That's awesome.
God Eater. Remember that. But yeah, so now looking forward to trying these boys out, and I like the Abernic. That thing's cool. The clam, it's just too small, and my hands cramp after playing it for like 20 minutes. Yeah. So and the Vita's,
it's a toy. It's not. It's not a hardcore device. You know.
You throw it in your pocket when you're going somewhere, and if you have like an extra few minutes here and there, throw something on.
Yeah.
So, but the Vita, I'm looking forward to because I love the form factor of that, and I never really got like tired when I was playing with that thing. So.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome. That's about it. And then this weekend, just kind of chilling and stuff and kicking it with you guys. With you bastards.
Good stuff, man. Jason, what's up with you? Anything?
Monster Hunter. Let's just go to Monster Hunter. Yeah. Skip me, and then
Chris.
We'll go to Monster Hunter later.
Let's see. What do I have going on? I do have things going on, but I'm not ready to talk about it yet. I want to make sure that everything falls into place well. So maybe next week I'll talk about that. But
cool.
Yeah, it's just been normal, super busy at work and super busy taking care of 2 teenagers, which is essentially hell, but that's all right. I love them anyway. They're great. So yeah, let's talk about some games. And Geoff, do you want to start with
you might as well start because you played it for the first time today.
Yeah.
But,
so we're gonna start with Split Fiction. So and as Geoff alluded to, I played it. I finally got a chance to play it today because I think I talked about this last week, but I was going to play it with my wife, and then my wife was like, no, I'm going to play it with this person first because I need to practice the game before I play with you, because she thought I was going to get frustrated.
You're going to get angry.
Right, because she sucks at platforming games, and there's a lot of platforming in this game. So, but yeah, Geoff and I played. We got probably hour and a half, maybe
an hour and a half, maybe 2
close to 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I think we're on the second sci-fi stage. Is that accurate?
I don't think we're done the first sci-fi stage, actually.
That's the first sci-fi stage. Okay.
Yeah, the way it kind of goes between the two, it's like there's like a long story level like you're doing, but in between it throws you into parts of like, because we've done the side stuff that was in fantasy, but I don't think we've actually hit the first big fantasy part of the story yet.
Okay. Yeah. So like and Geoff kind of talked about the story last time where the it's the machine and like extremely ominous, and all the writers that come in and are wearing the suits. They have to power up the suits, like all very creative naming, right? But it's okay because they saved all that creativity for the level design. Because man, I didn't play It Takes Two, so this is my first experience with this type of game, and as as Geoff and I are kind of walking through that first stage, I'm just like, how do they think of this shit? Like, how do they because everything is pieced together so well so that each player has an opportunity to shine a bit. And you're always there's always a situation where one of the players is relying on the other to do something fucking cool. Right. And then, but it pieces it together so well. So everybody seems to, so both players are getting the same amount of TLC within the game. So just the amount that went into that level design, I would love to just hear their process, hear about how they come up with ideas. I'd love to just sit in a room and listen to them design a level. I think that would be incredibly interesting, based on the stuff that we were going through. But we're still super early, and very much enjoying it. We got to do 2 of the side stories, and so one of the side stories was already spoiled for me, and I think it's pretty well out there.
I mentioned it last week.
You did? So it's the side story where you're the pigs, and one of the pigs farts rainbows. Yeah. So I need to explain this very carefully. No matter what you think about what this is going to be, it cannot prepare you for what it actually is, because Geoff and I walked into the stage and I literally took 2 minutes just to start to bust out laughing to the point of tears. I was like, I just can't right now.
Yeah.
Because and I have to say, I was like, after I saw Geoff fart away, I used my pig special ability and he's like a slinky, and I'm like, that's disappointing.
But it's one of those things, like, even if you know it's coming, like I mentioned it last week, you don't really get the gravitas of it until you actually see the farting rainbow. Like, it's when you see it, and just the way that it animates, and it's just hilarious. Like I am someone who laughs when someone else laughs. Like, laughing is contagious for me.
Yeah.
So Chris, like, he was dying, and that made me just go, and like I couldn't stop laughing, and we literally just had to sit there for a while because. Yeah.
And what was interesting about it is that, like, Geoff says, okay, well, let's do the side story real quick, and then I have to log off, and then we start the side story with like 2-3 minutes of just laughing uncontrollably. Yeah. But it was great. And actually, Geoff, after we logged off, I went up and made some lunch, and Crystal's like, did you get to the pig stage? I'm like, yeah, we got to the pig stage. And she's like, ha, ha, ha. It was like, certainly sounded like you were enjoying the game. And I'm like, yeah, I was enjoying the game.
That's good. And like Fraser and I are further by a few hours, but not by super much. But this time when I was playing with Chris, I was the other character. So I was a sci-fi character, Mia. And it's just as fun. I never felt like one character, at least not yet, is better than the other in terms of the gameplay mechanics it gives you. Because what you're doing is always engaging and fun. And you'll be like, oh, that's cool. I wish I was doing what that other character's doing right now. Like, I want to do that as well. But it's never like, I'd rather be doing that. And playing as the other character this time, it just holds true to what I was thinking, because they're both equally as fun to play.
Are they like equel in terms of like abilities and such? Do they play exactly the same?
They have different abilities. Yeah. So in the first stage, in the first sci-fi stage, Mio gets this like gravity affecting sword, which is really fucking cool. Well, I'm sorry, not gravity affecting, but it does affect gravity, but it essentially affects where she stands. So she could throw the sword and it warps her to like the side of the wall, and now she's attached to the side of the wall and she's walking around. And there's one part where we're going down a corridor and I'm on the ground and he's on the ceiling. Like, it's fucking cool. But and at the same time, what's the Mia? Is that her name? Whip. Mia has Zoe. That's it.
And Mia, yeah.
Zoe has a gravity whip, which literally you whip it out to pick things up, and you can like modify where they're going to be and throw them and stuff like that. So we got to the end of the stage, and like there's this big battle with a bunch of guys that come out and they're shooting at us, and like she can throw the whip out, pick up one of the dudes and throw it at one of the other dudes. I'm like, I'm done. This is great. I love this game. It's a fucking 10 out of 10. This is great.
Yeah. There's like a mini boss, and like one of the things is like I use my sword to slice this latch, and the latch launches up these 3 exploding canisters, and then Chris has to grab the 3 canisters with his gravity whip and then throw it at the ship and do damage, and we have to keep doing repeat that like 2 or 3 times. So it always does something, like you're never doing the exact same thing. Like sometimes you're doing the same thing, like riding on certain things. There's an area like where early again, so minor spoilers, where Chris's character, Zoe, she controls the gun turret while I'm flying. So it's stuff like that. So it does divide it up pretty well. It makes it worth playing, I would think, twice, because to play as once of each character.
Yeah, and it works out pretty well because Geoff and Crystal are both playing different characters in their current playthroughs. So Geoff switched characters, so I'm playing so that I'm playing as the fantasy character, and then when I play with Crystal, I'll be playing the sci-fi character. So it works out for me pretty well. So I was happy about that. But man, I'm having a lot of fun with that. And I told Geoff that
really
if you wanted to continue going down that road, like I will absolutely prioritize Split Fiction over Monster Hunter right now, just because it's a shorter experience, and yeah. And I want to be able to finish before Crystal finishes her run, so her and I can play together fresh after we've both beaten it. So, but yeah, I've never played It Takes Two. I know a lot of people. I will though.
Yeah. I was just saying to you today too that I like playing It Takes Two. It Takes Two is very long. I think it's longer than this is supposed to be. But I remember thinking, like, how, if they make another game like this, how are they going to have fresh ideas? Like, honestly, because it's very similar in like structure, kind of. But some of the stuff you're doing, like gameplay wise, is totally new and fresh. And they got a creative team over there at Hazelight for sure.
Yeah. Again, I would just love to sit in the room and listen to them like deliberate on how they're going to put stages together and just figure out, just see their creative process. I think that would be so incredibly interesting. But yeah, highly suggested. And just to reiterate, you only need to buy one copy of the game. Both people don't have to have the copy of the game. Only one person has to have it. So absolutely pick this up. It's also not full price. That helps too. It's what, $50, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
I certainly want to support this type of game development. Like, this is really, really fun and really cool. Yeah. Geoff, anything to add from the
Split Fiction? No.
Okay.
Nope.
Cool. Well, what else you got?
What else do I got? Very quickly, when I got to my 360 rabbit hole, I booted up some games there. I started playing X-Men Origins Wolverine. That game's awesome.
How is that? Is it awesome? Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah, I played it like way back in the day, of course, and really liked it. It does have that. It's one of the better licensed games for sure, but it still has some of that licensed game jank where you can kind of tell it was rushed to make it out at a certain time, but it plays really well. I mean, it's God of War, but you're Wolverine, right? That's kind of what the gist of it is. Although it plays a little bit more like a Ninja Gaiden, actually, like the how it plays out, but not as hard, obviously. Super fucking violent. I forgot how violent it is. Like, it's super violent. It's like Logan's holding up dudes and having their head cut off like by like helicopter blades and stuff. It's gruesome. But it does have that. It's not backwards compatible, so it doesn't get any of the frame rate boost or resolution boost that backwards compatible games does. So it definitely looks like a 360 game. And the frame rate could be a bit dicey because the cap is 30. So when you're 30 and dropping, that's when it's like, oh, okay, that's when it's like fucking noticeable, like a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm still having a good time with it. And I will say, if Insomniac takes one thing from that series, they can't fuck with the combat. I want them to like ape that combat as much as they can. I don't want the Spider-Man, like Batman, Mordor combat in the Wolverine game they're doing. Like, it needs to be free flow, man. It just feels so good, like jumping from character to character, like, but manually doing it. You have this lunge move that you can do as many times as you want. That's just super, like, kind of like OP in ways. It feels really good playing as Wolverine. And then the other game, Lords of Shadow, I started playing that. Yeah. That game, everything applies the same thing as that. I can't remember what year that came out. I want to say it was kind of later that generation, or like mid later, I guess. It definitely has some frame rate hitches. I totally forgot Kojima Productions helped with that game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 2010, Lords of Shadow came out.
2010. Okay.
Yep.
Oh.
And what's his name? Patrick Stewart. I'm pretty sure is the narrator. I don't know that for sure, but it sounds like him. Is he? Okay. And then, but then that one I remembered, I think I owned it because that's backwards compatible. I can't play any of my disc games backwards compatible with my Series X because it stopped reading the discs. And I was like,
weird.
what the hell? It reads all my Xbox One games and up, but it won't read a 360 disc.
Oh, that's really weird.
It. Yeah, apparently the red laser's probably shot on it, and apparently it's kind of common on Series X.
Okay.
They probably put a shitty one in there because they're like, well, how many people are going to use it? But I remember to have Lord of Shadow on digital, so I booted that up. It doesn't have the frame rate boost either. It's not one of the ones that's supported.
Jeez.
Or the resolution. The good news is it seems to lock the frame rate at 30. I didn't see as many like stutters I did when I tried it on 360. But the resolution is just slightly better because of whatever the TV. It's like TVs kind of do a little bit of upscaling, like minimal, but not. You'd probably have to look at them side by side. But I'm enjoying that one too. It's not as I wouldn't say it's as like polished as I remember it being. Some of the level design is kind of questionable and stuff like that, but I'm having a good time with it. I really like the first one. I never played the second one though. I probably won't either.
The second one is it's a downgrade. It's a downgrade.
Okay.
Yeah. The first one was better for sure.
Yeah. Nice. But yeah, so now I'm in this fucking like not quite retro gaming kick because it's like 2 generations ago. I guess it would consider retro.
It's still retro, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it would be. So once I figure out if I can clean out the PS3, I want to start playing. So I want to get back to the God of War games, man. I want to play God of War 1 again and some others. But yeah, that's been my week, man. Just
it's fun diving down those holes.
It is, but it's such a hole, dude. Like it's like now I'm starting to look at like older games like on eBay and stuff like that, and like buying. Like I'm pretty sure all these games I got for the PSP today, like even if they're only like $10 each, they're probably all going to be on that packed Vita. Mostly all of them.
Probably.
Whatever. I just wanted some physical games. I was hoping they'd have like Ghosts of Sparta or Chains of Olympus, but they didn't have either of those. Or Jeanne d'Arc. But Jeanne d'Arc, I have a feeling Jeanne d'Arc's probably expensive too.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping they'd have there, but their selection was not that great. I got the best of their pickings there. But that's basically it. Besides Monster Hunter, but I'm not sure if Jason, do you want to go right into Monster Hunter? Or is there anything else?
I'm going right into it, man.
Into it, man.
I've been going into it for almost 100 hours now.
Holy shit.
It's got its hooks in me a little bit, but I'm at the end game now.
Like the for real end game.
For real end game now. I'm grinding mats for the Ardian weapons, and I think I touched on those last week.
Is the rarity 8 stuff? Is that the last rarity level, or is there?
Yeah, that's the last. That's the last one. I believe so. Anyway, that I've seen. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I'm grinding mats for the Ardian weapons, which is probably my biggest gripe in the game so far. The Ardian weapons are potentially the most powerful, like version of your weapon that you can get, and they all look the same. They all have the same look and feel. So it just nullifies like all the other weapons that you have, and it would be easy to fix, if we could have transmog or whatever, or layered weapons, but we don't have that yet. Potentially in a further update. But
now, is there more than one Ardian weapon per weapon class?
No.
So there's one Ardian weapon per weapon class, and then based on what materials you use, that's what determines what element you get from it.
Yeah, so you can have a paralyzing lance, that does like 30% crit. Or has 30% affinity, and it'll look the same as something that's a fire-based one, which is
that's weird.
They could at least put an effect on it or something.
Something like that,
or color change, like make the color more appropriate to what the element is of the weapon.
So luckily the armor is untouched. There's no Ardian armor. There technically is Ardian armor, but it's not the same. It doesn't work the same way as it does with the weapons. So, I'm now starting to get into builds, which is fun. So I've got like clear, like short-term goals for stuff. It's like, okay, I got to hunt a Rathian probably like 3-4 times
Yeah.
In order to get this part, and then I'm going to go fight this one. And the new investigation system makes that so fucking easy. It really takes the guesswork out of grinding. Pretty much what you're going to get. Like it'll tell you things that are guaranteed, and it'll give you
guaranteed materials that you're going to get.
Okay. And it'll tell you how many of certain things that you'll get, how many mats you'll get for the Ardian weapons and whatnot, how many regular materials you'll get for building armor and weapons and so on and so forth. And then they've got you can, when you're out in the field and you've got the binoculars, you can actually see whether or not it's a crown monster, whether it's super small or if it's one of the biggest ones that you've ever fought. Those are crown monsters, and those are super end game stuff, and it makes it so much easier to do that. There's so many really, really nice quality of life.
So what would they do in the older ones? You just fight it, then you find out after you kill it?
Yeah,
afterwards.
Yeah, you fight it, and afterwards you find out how big it was.
It sucks.
Gotcha.
So what do you get? What is the benefit of going after the larger monsters? Why is the crown monster? What does the crown do for you?
It's still collectible, essentially.
Makes you king.
Yeah.
Or queen.
Makes you king. Makes you king shit. I think there's probably an achievement tied to it. More than likely.
Yeah.
That's about it. But yeah, I'm in end game now. Fucking shoot me.
I'm not there yet. I can do rarity 7 stuff right now. Well, I should say that on my tree, on my weapon tree, I can get to rarity 7, but nothing's filled in. Everything is question marks right now.
Sure.
So I'm not quite there yet. Yeah. So right now I'm using a rarity 6 weapon. And I think I've got a few pieces of rarity 6 armor. So I can see rarity 7 on the tree, but I don't have any of the parts for it yet. But yeah, Jason and I played last night for, I don't know what, 3 hours, something like that.
A chunk.
And Nogric joined us for one mission where he's like,
we're
getting tornado alarms. I'm like, oh, please go be safe. So
there's a fire monkey, you can't go.
Storm hunter, yeah, exactly.
We're facing 2 fire monkeys. It was rough. It was pretty rough, yeah. And we finally got lucky enough to get one on either side of that fucking gate, and then it was no problem. But things started moving really quick. While Jason and I were playing, I went up 600 ranks. So I was I'm in the 30s now. And Jason's in the 70s, and Nog is in the 90s, and my friend 10. Jerry is in the in the 70s, and I think our friend John is in the 140s or something ridiculous that. Yeah, it's there's a lot.
I just opened up the high rank or whatever, high hunter rank, mode.
You finished the story?
I finished the first story, 3 chapters, and then I did the capture the monster mission. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just got to that part.
Yeah. I just got to so yesterday Jason showed me tempered monsters. We were able to fight some of the tempered monsters. And there were a couple times where shit got real. There was which one was there was one the poison chicken. I don't remember what his name is. Gyarados or something like that.
Gyarados or something. Yeah.
Gyarados. And he randomly fell asleep. And Jason goes, "Oh, while he's asleep, you can carve him." And I went up and I was trying to carve him. All of a sudden, he wakes up. I don't know what happened, but he woke up and I was dead.
I was not fucking with you, by the way.
No, I know. I actually fought one after you logged off.
Jason. Hey, Geoff, go touch that thing over there.
I've never done that before.
go touch that and see what happens. No, he was being serious. I fought one after he logged off I'm trying to get a lightning weapon, and I found my first path to a lightning weapon. So I went and fought one, and while he was sleeping, I was able to carve him twice, and then I saw him twitching, and I backed up and put my shield up. I'm like, I know what you're about to do. But it was seriously one shot. I had to have 3/4 life. because anytime there's a break in the battle, I'm like drinking potions until I'm full life again, especially if I'm playing with someone else because they get it too.
Dude, but you know what I didn't figure out until like the last session I played?
What's that?
You gotta wait for them to finish drinking the potion to get all the health from that potion.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought the game was like, fuck, because I'd always like pop the potion, and once I saw it like give that bit of sparkle like green, I would just start going again. And I'm like, why is it hardly doing any healing?
You gotta,
like,
you gotta wait.
Let it do its thing.
Yeah.
The way that it used to be, and Chris loved this. Oh my
Fuck
god,
you.
No.
Fuck you, Jason.
loved it. Anytime that you drank a potion, you would stand in place. And then once you were done with the potion, you do like a flex motion, like show them the guns.
Did you have like invincibility frames or anything at least?
No.
Or no? Oh man.
Which is why I hated it, Geoff. I was like, please, why am I flexing in the middle of a fucking fight? That is not something that would happen. Please stop. And I think World was the first one where they stopped that, right? Isn't that right? Or is it before World?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But yeah, but now it's like they do make it a lot easier now. It's like I think Jason mentioned it either last week or the week before, where your sacred can come pick you up. Like if you fall down, you can you're on the ground, you can be pushing the button to get the sacred to come pick you up,
and then basically invulnerable. It's
you can drink your potions, you can sharpen your weapon, you can do whatever it is you need to do. So that helps a lot, and it's good because without that, it'd be rough. Like you know, the game is easier, but it's easier because they gave the player utilities to make it easier.
Yeah,
rather than just making the game fucking harder by making the monsters harder. So I don't think I think the monsters might actually be slightly either the same or slightly harder than they were, but the introduction of some of the quality of life stuff that they've given you has made it so much easier to do things. That's my theory anyway. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the Monster Hunter expert, so but yeah,
even after 100 hours.
Yeah, it's super fun. It is super fun, and we were Jason and I were talking trash to the monsters yesterday too. It's just what we do.
Where are you going? Yeah. Oh, you're having a bad day, Rathian.
Oh, did we cut your tail off? I'm sorry. You can't poison us anymore, you fucking bitch.
Hey now, there's the anger Crystal was worried about.
Yep.
I will say that yesterday, I think the one thing that caught both Jason and I off guard, we were fighting a tempered Rathian, and for those that have played Monster Hunter a lot, like the Rathian still has its poisoning like tail whip, like flip that does the tail whip, and the one that we were fighting did it twice in a row, and neither of us had seen that before. So I was out of the way. I was kind of like off to the side, but it did the first tail whip and Jason avoided it, and then the second one came and knocked him out. I mean, it didn't knock him out, but he definitely went backwards. So, but it surprised the hell out of us. Yeah.
So then afterwards, of course, you see the one tail swipe, and you're like, nope, I'm not going in.
I'm just holding the shield. No, fuck you, man. I know it's coming.
Nope.
As soon as I move my shield, you're gonna do another one. So,
the temporary monsters, it's cool. Like the stuff that they get added to their kit. It's like shit like that, and like other monsters like breathe fire all of a sudden, like big beams of energy. It's great.
Yeah, the last story mission I did before you and I played last night. There's the story mission that gets you past Hunter rank 20. So Geoff, as you're playing,
so there's more story for it too.
Yeah, there is more story. Yes, there is more story.
Okay.
So there's actually 6 chapters total, I believe. But the first 3 chapters are low rank, and then you move to high rank, and then there's another 3 chapters.
Okay,
so
I figured. Okay.
Now it's easier to
heavy. Yeah, it's more dialogue focused.
Yeah, gotcha. and there's definitely not there's not a lot of the walking and talking. At least I haven't seen it much of it yet. But there are like milestones where you can't get past a certain hunter rank until you do a certain mission. But it stores all the XP that you get. So
thankfully,
so I did the mission that would get me past 20, and I immediately went to 23 because of how much experience I had saved up.
Gotcha.
And that's really for anybody who's playing it, because it can be frustrating playing the game getting 300 and something guild points and your meter's not moving at all. Like it just says, oh, yep, you're still level 20.
Yep.
Fuck you.
Okay, so it does. Okay, so it's kind of holding it in its back pocket, sort of thing.
Exactly. So
and
your
rewarding
experience
you
is
when
still
you do
building.
the thing they want you to. Yeah, it's like,
and then it
you do this
it
for us, we'll give you this. Okay,
exactly.
It can be very, very deflating. When you're not making any progress, and they just tell you, just to do missions until you get your hunter rank up. And then
your hunter rank stops going up, and it's like, well, you're just telling me to do the same thing.
Yeah.
But I saw one of my buddies that I played with earlier this week did that mission while I was online with him, and he went from 20 to 27 instantly.
Whoa.
So he had a lot of shit stored up. But that giant lightning monster that we fought, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
The one that gets you past 20, you're fighting that and one of those paralyzing spiders at the same time.
Oh, fun.
And Olivia comes with you. So Olivia's always fun to have with you because she fucking wrecks with that hammer.
Yeah. You can set it up to where you get support hunters, like up to 4 the entire time, which is kind of clutch. It's a really nice feature that that people like that are like me, that don't like people. Actually, people don't like me. I think is the problem.
We love you, Jason.
But like socially awkward people such as myself don't feel bad about just like setting it to AI controlled teammates. It's really cool that they finally did that.
No, it's a helpful thing, so you can play it single player and not have to feel like you're missing out on a lot.
Yeah, and like if you don't want to play with other people, like playing by yourself definitely slows things down, right?
Yeah.
So
I've definitely used the SOS flare and had some randoms command. That's worked pretty well so far. Just be like, hey.
Yeah, it probably works better, but your AI buddies are pretty good. They'll heal you and shit in lieu of your cat, because they only can have so many models out, I guess. So once you get like 3 people playing, then your cat goes away, which is a shame, because I want to say in Rise it kept everybody, like your Palamutes and your cat out while you had like 4 people. But that was like a lower fidelity kind of game too. Like started out on the Switch, so that may have been the issue.
Yeah.
I'm going to play some more tomorrow. I'm supposed to play with someone tomorrow, but I don't think they're going to end up showing up. But I'll just play it myself.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the 3 of us should get together and play, man. Like, that's... I would love to have another opportunity to play the same game.
I'm ready.
Yeah. I'm just more of a daytime gamer on weekends more than an evening gamer.
That makes sense.
So, yeah. I'm early morning to, like, basically after dinner is usually, like... usually till about 9 is usually my cutoff. So if you guys are around, hit me up.
We'll do some Monster Hunter mornings.
There you go.
Yeah, man.
Well, you guys can.
Hunting in the AM.
Just tell me how it goes, I guess.
AM hunts.
Let's see. Anything else from a gaming perspective, guys?
I tried, man. I tried to play other games, but it just didn't happen.
It's all about
just
Monster
play what you want to
right
play.
now.
If you're enjoying the Monster Hunter, go for it.
Yeah, damn it. I don't have to play new games for you.
No,
play what you want.
Yeah.
Play what you want, man.
All right, I will.
All good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Jeff, we got some news?
We got something new. I don't think there's any news coming out. Yeah. We do have some news. We have a few news items to go over. The first one, People Can Fly. You know who those guys are. They made Bulletstorm, Outriders, Gears of War Judgment, which wasn't that great. But they are teaming up with Sony to make a game based on an existing IP of Sony's, which is cool. They're also doing a game for Xbox as well that hasn't been announced yet. So they're doing one for each side. What do you guys think this might be?
Get in the zone.
Do they give any information about like the last time?
It's called Project Delta, but all of their games have been shooter based. Every single one of them, as far as I know. And usually first person or third person. So it could be Killzone, maybe Resistance.
Could be.
I think I have an idea. Well, it's more of a pipe dream more than anything. I think it might be a Siphon Filter game. But
that would be cool.
that's just kind of what I would kind of want because it's been so long since.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I think Dark Mirror is the last one they did, as far as I can remember, or
Really?
Logan, something or other. There was 2 on the PSP, right? There was Dark Mirror and then Logan, something.
I don't know.
Pardon me. I think Logan was the one that I had for PSP, not Dark Mirror.
I don't remember ever getting into that series. I think I played the first one. That was on the PS1.
Original?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's jank as fuck, but
yeah, like his torso would turn and like contort in like weird
It was like
ways.
a swivel. It was almost like a tripod kind of thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Actually, I'd rather be Killzone or Resistance because whatever, but I just want to throw Siphon Filter out there.
I guess the question is, I mean, Killzone and Resistance are Sony properties, right? Not Insomniac and Guerrilla.
No, I'm assuming they're Sony. Sony did a pretty good job of keeping all the IP that even their like third party deals were for. I guess you can call them second party, but yeah, they usually own all of them. So it would be Sony that would own them, but they own Insomniac anyway. So technically, they could be like, "Hey,
that's true.
We're working on this." It would just come down like Insomniac's backed up. They're not making anything besides Marvel stuff for like the next like 8 years.
True enough.
Yeah, they're not going to be making Resistance. That's for sure. And I'm trying to think who you get People Can Fly to do. Like their expertise is shooters.
Yeah, shooters and
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm having back.
What did you say, Duke? Oh god damn it! Yeah, we need.
Resistance and Killzone are the only 2 that I. Oh god. That's
SOCOM,
a reminder of
maybe?
something I didn't need. Yeah.
What?
So SOCOM is a problem. I just happened to look up like Sony exclusive FPS games, and MAG came up.
MAG, I think just had really bad timing. Did that come out when the whole PSN went down for like a year, or like a year, like a month?
It
2
could
months?
be.
Remember that?
Yeah.
It was either SOCOM or MAG that came out like right before that happened and totally killed it.
I kind of remember that. I mean, just the fact that you needed 250 people, I guess kind of killed it too.
Yeah. I feel like SOCOM is a good guess. Like, I feel like that's a good, solid guess.
I hope they'd throw in another Bluetooth headset. That'd be awesome.
Nah, dude, I think that was the first Bluetooth headset.
Oh shit, yeah. That was totally mine.
PS3 one. SOCOM was one of the first games I ever played online on a.
Me too. PS2. Yeah. Me too. But I mean, before that, it's not the first online game. It was the first online PS2 game, right?
Yeah, Dreamcast. I was online before that, and Tony Hawk and SOCOM, I think, were the first 2.
Hey, what was your first online game? Like straight up online game?
Straight up online game?
Yeah.
It was either Warcraft 2 on PC,
okay,
or it might have been Doom 2 on PC. And there was also a game called Terminal Velocity that was online. It was really not good online. That I played with my buddy, like who lived like across the street. But I think Warcraft 2 might have been it.
I think so. Yeah, for me as well. Like as much as I wasn't super into those types of games, that game was just a phenomenon. So took over the world.
Mine was the original Diablo.
Okay. Yeah.
And they had a mode where you could literally dial out to someone else's game. Yeah. And connect that way. And I remember playing with someone playing it that way while I was like early college, I think. So
do you remember a family member picking up the phone and like you losing your connection?
Damn it, Mom!
Yep. Oh, I was so fucking mad. Like Dreamcast is what really got me into like online gaming, like with Quake 3 and Phantasy Star were like the 2 big ones. But I also got into Team Fortress and Quake 3 Arena on PC, which is where like to play it, and I was never really that good at it, but that would drive me nuts, like playing the Dreamcast, playing PSO, and then I would start getting that like stutter and like disconnection, and then like I'd be like yelling at my mom, "I don't care about Grandma. Hang up. I don't care it's her birthday. She's had 89 of them. What's one more?" Like,
wow.
Oh man! Now I just want to talk about early online games forever because man, so many good times back then.
That's amazing how many are available out there like today. Like PSO obviously is they've got their custom servers and shit like that. But It's fun reading about like other games. Like not too long ago, City of Heroes.
Oh shit!
Yeah, there's a very private server out there that's not advertised. That
is it all community run at this point? Like, how does it?
Yeah, it's community run,
That's...
and like they have the blessing of the former developers as well. So
wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, shit like that's cool.
How's 2 doing? Phantasy Star Online 2. I remember playing the beta for that way back.
I don't care, man.
When it came out,
it was too complicated.
Yeah, when it came out on PS4, I think it was PS4. I was playing it for a while, and I probably put like 20 hours into it, just messing around. And honestly, it was all single player, just kind of trying to get a feel for the game.
Yeah.
Never really got like a feel for the game, and I was like, this is too much. Like, yeah, and that's the thing. It's like they went from like the original PSO was so simple and approachable, right? And then even Phantasy Star Universe, like I loved that too. It was it was certainly more complicated than PSO, and I know it wasn't as well received as PSO was, but for me it was still a lot of fun. Like I absolutely played the shit out of that game. Yeah, PSO2 though, man, PSO2, it's like I want to like it. There's a lot of cool shit that's going on. Like they've got like big massive battles, like shit. What are the games that did that? Like trying to think.
EverQuest?
So I don't know if EverQuest.
What's that one that was kind of like
it was like environmental battles, like a big where everybody on the server would get called to help out with the battle. They have like big shit like that.
I think I know the one you're talking about, and it's driving me nuts that I can't think of it. I never played it, but I think you guys played a bit of it. It was third person, like mostly fantasy type style, like oh my god, they made 2 of them. There's two of them. They weren't quite like massively multiplayer, but they were kind of like that same thing, like server based. Yeah. It was on PC only. It wasn't on console.
Guild Wars?
It's very...
That's the one I'm thinking of, Guild Wars.
Yeah, Guild Wars had it. It's very similar to like some of the public events that happen in Destiny, right? They had like these, but they were much larger scale like battles that you could get into. But you needed to be like level 40 and you had to have all this other good shit. And it's like you could walk up and try and put a couple of spells out and you would die. But that's the thing. It's like I never really had... There wasn't really ever anybody that I knew that was playing it, so it was hard to really get my footing in it as well.
Yeah.
But I put in time. I played it on... I think it was PS5 was out already by the time it came over, but
I
played
think
it on PS5. And I actually got it installed on my Steam Deck, and I actually played it on the Steam Deck for a while. It's not great on Steam Deck, but I want to love it, but I can't. It's hard. It's hard.
They make it very, very hard to love it because you know what? It's the love is buried between like 4 different menus. It's menu upon menu and currency upon currency.
So much like
they
text
went
and subtext.
Chris, you said that the PSO was very simple. They went the exact opposite route with this one and just like overcomplicated so much. Took a lot of the fun out of it. They did have those like in lobby concerts. That shit was cool. I love that.
That's true. Yeah, they had a lot of in lobby stuff, and there's like different hubs that you can find. And there's always some community stuff that's going on in the hubs. I mean, visually it was fine. It was pretty good. It wasn't obviously top of where we are right now, but it certainly wasn't an ugly game at all. It was definitely some pretty sci-fi stuff, right? And flashy. But yeah.
All right. Well, keeping the news in focus.
Right, news. That's what we were doing.
Yes. News. And Focus Entertainment announced with Saber that they are working on, and they've started production on Space Marine 3.
Cool.
Yeah.
I got to beat that second one. Damn it.
I got to beat the first one.
Good.
Yeah. I got it installed on the laptop, so I'll be able to play it a little more frequently. So it's in the forefront of my mind. Like it needs to be played.
Nice.
Yes, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. So good.
Yeah, I still haven't played it.
It did really, really well for Focus, so they jumped on a sequel like right away.
Right.
Like, yep. And they said that they're going to still they're still going to be supporting 2 for the upcoming years. So it's not like they're just dropping 2 to do this. So yeah. And I think Saber's pretty good. I think they're going to get this out sooner than we think. I don't think it's going to be like a 6-year, 5-year, like how games usually take these days.
Right.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. Sticking with the sequels, though, Death Stranding 2 had a big trailer released earlier this week. They're at a conference at South by Southwest, I believe. Kojima Productions, some of the actors and stuff. And it's coming out June 26th. So sooner than I expected.
Pretty quick,
yeah, definitely sooner than I expected, too.
And it looks good. I know you guys have not checked out the trailer yet. You have to put aside a couple hours to watch it because it's extremely long. It's it's only 10 minutes. Well, only 10 minutes. It's a trailer that's 10 minutes.
Is long for a
you
trailer.
Go on
it's
a
long.
journey.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's a fucking cutscene. It's a bunch of mashups of stuff. It looks really awesome. It looks phenomenal, like graphic wise. Like it's like one of those games where you're like, this is what this gen can look like.
Nice.
I mean, the first one still looks good to this day. That Decima engine, man, that shit cooks so well.
I still want to play it. I'm pretty sure I have it digitally. I just haven't played it yet.
You probably do.
Yeah.
You should give it a shot. Do it. Give it a shot when it's like there's a drought and you have nothing really coming up. And you can just focus on that because.
Sure, I'll put it in the backlog with the rest of
all
the backlog
300 games.
Yeah.
A rumor came up also last week that was been corroborated with a couple people now, big people in the industry like Jason Schreier, Tom Warren, and stuff. That Microsoft is teaming up with a third party to release a handheld this year. At first, I was excited. I was like, "Oh shit, this year? That's cool! Like a handheld device that will play my games like natively that I own, like in the Xbox ecosystem."
Mm-hmm.
More details are coming out. So what it basically is, it's everyone's saying an Asus is the one who's partnering with them. So they do the ROG Ally. But basically what it sounds like is that this is just an Xbox branded ROG Ally. Like it might have the Xbox guide button on it and they like flavored Xbox, but apparently it's only going to play Xbox Anywhere games. So that put my interest to holy shit. Weird. Maybe I'll hold off, or maybe I'll get this and like maybe I'll finally have a handheld that I can do this stuff to. It's basically just going to be a Ally that's Xbox branded, so it's not going to do anything new. So you can play your Game Pass games on it and your Play Anywhere games, but you can't bring your whole library, which is what a lot of people kind of got excited about at first. Like that'd be cool. Like if it's any digital game I have that I've bought on Xbox will play on it, that's great. Like natively, not streaming, but it's not. It's only the stuff that is on, I guess would be PC Game Pass would be on there that you can do. Yeah, and that's not even every game. So if you buy a game that's not on there, you can't just play it. You'd have to buy it on, I'm assuming you can run Steam on an Asus. I don't know. I'm not sure if you
I would hope so, yeah.
So I'm like, sweet, that could be it, because that's the one thing that's really stopped me from getting a Steam Deck or an Ally, is because like that's the thing. I'd have to basically really like commit to Steam, but apparently it's not. It's just going to be this for now. With the rumor came that they have their next generation console in production, and they're going to be hitting in 2027. So that's where it's coming out. That's where the main handheld they're going to be releasing that will be kind of like take place of the Series S type deal. And then they'd have like the upper end one. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you guys with me? Like to me that news is like not really that big of a deal. It's like, okay, you're teaming up with them to put an Xbox logo on it.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's what they're doing, then yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'm hoping there's a little bit more to it than that, though.
I'd hope so, because I don't see the incentive. I don't see why.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, outside of
it killed the incentive for me to do it. For sure.
There's so many PC handheld. Like it is that, like that's in vogue. Like the Switch lit a fire under people's asses, and everybody had to like jump on that. And it's cool that Steam is working on a way for
third party stuff.
Third party stuff to get on there as well.
They're licensing out. which I think is good for Asus and Xbox because they're technically splitting the cost of licensing that stuff. Because Asus doesn't make money off software; they just make money off selling the hardware, which is why it's expensive. It's like that's their only way they can get money is selling the hardware. You have someone splitting that with you, it makes it easier. It's more they might be able to get the price down a little bit or whatnot, and then thing. But I think it might be maybe Xbox's way of testing the waters early, a couple of years before they want to do their own thing and be like, let's see how this does. But I don't see many people going, well, now I'm going to get one just because it has Xbox on it. If it doesn't play the games like that you've already bought in that ecosystem. If it's just Game Pass, then it's like, well, then I can just get a regular one or go with a Steam Deck as well. So
essentially, the brand has a lot of instills confidence in people, in console people. So like, people that want that console experience, are going to see Xbox and go, oh, maybe they figured this out and it's not confusing and I can just play shit.
Yeah.
And I can take it on the go. I can sit on the couch with it. Okay. Yeah. I'll give it a shot. People bought the PlayStation Portal, and that just plays. True. And that's sold kind of well for what it was.
Literally,
I almost bought one too. Yeah, they're what, $200,
something like that. They're $250 here. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, they're just better options out there. Oh, please don't get it.
Oh no, I didn't. I didn't.
Okay.
Like the only thing that had me is because I think I can't remember if I said this in the Discord or on the show. I think it was the Discord, but I almost bought one because right now I have a Series S in the bedroom and a Series X in the living room. So I can play in both the same game, which is really, really convenient. And I only have a PlayStation 5 in the living room, and I don't want to I don't want to move it, and I don't want to buy another PS5 to have two consoles in the bedroom. So I'm like, well, having the Portal would be kind of cool if the streaming works really well. But then I thought about it. I'm like, well, how often would am I in that position?
Yeah.
And then again, that's another reason of my self-justification of getting the Vita thing that Jason sent the link for, which is this is all your fault, Jason. So I was like, yeah, because I can just play something like that in there. So yeah, it's not that big of a deal. So I did not get one.
Good stuff.
Good.
Yeah. So that's basically it for the news for this week.
All right. Geoff.
Hi.
Complete inbox price for Jeanne d'Arc is about $50.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
I mean, considering, it's not too bad. Maybe I might have to order that. That's US though, right? So that's like $75.
Yeah, that's US. Canadian. Yeah. We'll so see. I'm using. I don't know if you guys have ever have looked at pricecharting.com, but it essentially scans like eBay and other resale sites to determine how high games get. And it's it'll tell you like here's an eBay auction that sold for this much money. So the last one on the list is March 14th, which was yesterday, and it sold for $50. And then the one before that is the same day, $50. So yeah, it's not bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I'll wait for the my thing hasn't shipped yet, which I get a little bit worrisome, but apparently it could take a bit to ship. I don't know if Jason, if you have you ordered anything from Sumo?
No, but like I've seen a lot of outlets, content creators, that obviously got one for free from Sumo, but like they seem reputable. Like the company's been around a while, so I figure if they're really ripping people off, then they're not going to last that long. It'll be
more widespread. Yeah, I've seen some reviews and some videos where there's some problems with the console, not problems like technically. But with the casing, but I mean, they're refurbished consoles, like they're not going to be pristine. So, and
the trouble is that Sumo says that they refurbish it by hand, and like some of that should be fixed, like a loose screen or something like that.
That's what that's what really got me worried. I saw a couple with a screen at the bottom's kind of loose.
Yep.
So people have just been gluing it themselves. But
so we saw the same thing. I think. Okay, so I don't think it's too terribly widespread, and I think most people understand that. Yeah, it's a used console, obviously.
It's overwhelmingly positive reviews, on the site and on this stuff. So I mean, you're going to get some bad eggs. Like you can go to the best restaurant in the world. There's going to be some people who don't like it and who had bad experiences. So it's normal. But I'm excited.
Yes, I'm excited for you. That's great.
Wait. I'm hoping to have that as a show and tell when that comes in for sure.
Very cool.
Good stuff. Right, boys.
Well, that's a show, gents.
Nice.
Thanks everyone for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please tell a few friends about us. And like, subscribe, and comment on YouTube. We appreciate that. That helps us and gets us out there a little bit better. Mm-hmm. Check us out at Discord. Come and visit there. And if you want to support us, you can also support us on Patreon. We very much appreciate everybody who supports us on Patreon. And you can find both of those at interactivedistractions.com, which leads you to our link tree. And that is a show. So until next time, my name is Chris.
I'm Jason.
I'm Geoff.
Play your games. We'll talk to you next week.